Recording in progress.
Good morning. Today I am, excuse me, bringing you the eclipse chart that is going to happen Tuesday on Mars Day, October 2nd, 2024. And this eclipse is going to be rather interesting in that it is going to last approximately 7 minutes. 93% of the sun's surface will be covered by the moon. And I like these details mainly for the numerology, for those of us who are into numerology, as it does tell us a little something about the type of energy and what we can expect. It could be busy, cold, and busy flu season and cold and flu season. There is danger of peril. And then we have, you can see, you have nectar here, well, your north node is also right in here. And something in the family way is really something we need to take note of. And in this eclipse, and why? Well, we're having a grand trine, if you will. And what is a grand trine? A grand trine is a harmonic, a three-way harmonic aspect, creating equatorial triangles, sacred geometry, a level of pure being and expression, a change of a pattern or behaviors. It's a tremendous amount of momentum and can be a bit too good to be true. And this is going to happen in water. So this is going to relate to emotions, spiritual realms, sensitive and excessive emotions. It's going to be dramatic. It's going to have depth and great intensity. And it could be crisis oriented, where we are finding ourselves needing to reach out and help others because something has occurred. Now, we did just have the hurricane, and I was wondering about this, but I don't really think this is exactly it. Some will create crisis in some ways to experience healing. And we do. We create trauma so we can transform, or we create, for instance, a very common one is relationships, where we go from relationship to relationship to relationship to relationship. And the entire time, what are we doing? We're saying, I need change. I need transformation. I can't hook onto this because I'm too restless to stand still. And so there's some reasoning behind it. So we are having this eclipse. It is happening as a grand trine and as a water grand trine. In the previous eclipse, it was a balance between discrimination and assimilation and isolation. What's really interesting is it happened in Virgo Pisces, medical versus self undoing, or being of service versus spirituality, however you want to see it. So, what are we asking? What's the system asking from us? Well, eclipses are a very specific type of energy. Think of it like a combination clock. The first in the series hits and a number gets unlocked, but yet the lock itself is not open. Something about that lock has been made available to us. So it's a slow moving 18 months to really unlock the entire purpose of the eclipse season. And this eclipse season is a Aries Libra, meaning that it's about how we get along, how we strive for freedom, how we demand contracts, how we manage our marriages, our family life, everything. Everything is on the line. Yet, in this sense, it's in the 12th and 6th house at this time, where it's about our health now, and whether or not we continue a stream of thought, the polarity, or we fix it, we do something about it. And so this grand trine eclipse energy involves the eclipse itself would normally be fire earth. Well, but you can see that at the very top you have this Mars energy where everything is funneling up to Mars in Cancer, which is in detriment. So something, and then this is ninth house is going to be foreign. This is going to be justice. And what kind of justice are we going to see with this energy? Well, we're seeing the pathfinder in a way. And we're also seeing with Mars a love of movement. And through Bellatrix star, success through the shadow. And then down here, Saturn's involved. What is that wanting us to be aware of? Well, it's wanting to bring knowledge to others through a creative process that's being very much a house of creativity. So it's dragging us back through what this might mean. And then our final is Venus, and this is in Scorpio. And this is asking for us to look at our fruitfulness for our very survival, that some of the very limitations that have been placed upon us as of recent really are going to create limitations on our population and survival. Nothing survives well under duress. And so that's a very important truth. And so again, we go back to that success through shadow, but focus on the physical world at this point. And you can see you've got moon and sun here in the 12th house with Mercury, all about self-undoing, in Earth, where Mars is squaring that energy, and Mars is applying itself toward what? The 10th house of government, where something foreign, dysfunctional, and in detriment is attempting to control what's happening to us, the people in the United States. And I think we're seeing that in a variety of ways through there being a desire to stop to certain peace agreements in the Middle East for the purposes of looking good on November the 5th to say, look at me, I'm the only one that can solve this problem. This isn't true. This is not true. And so, yes, there's been a love of a movement, but do notice a movement where? From a foreign place. And in this sense, Jupiter right now is trying to bring us a different approach. It's trying to bring it to us as if it's truth, and it's not. It's not higher knowledge, not yet, because it hasn't developed. It hasn't taken the time to make sure that the information it chooses to provide is accurate. As a result, it doesn't quite measure up to what it needs to be. So it's sitting out here in this area, trining itself over to Mercury, trying to make itself so. But this is all institutionalized. This is in the house of self-undoing. Something is unfolding here that's huge. And I have some ideas about it. It could involve alcohol. Off with your head. I will not say more about that, but pay attention. Things are getting active. And furthermore, I would say that don't overindulge in information right now, because lots of the information we're getting is likely not true. Now, the last eclipse, interestingly, was a 12 event, as if it struck every 2 minutes. The zodiac in every house and sign was impacted. This eclipse coming is Moon in Aries and Sun in Libra. We're at the midpoint of this eclipse season with half the combination lock undone. Many of us are already actively really feeling where this is going, where we are very definitely expressing our individuality, our decisiveness. Some of us now taking on leadership roles with a sense of passion for life, bringing a trailblazing energy, a need to define boundaries, to gain balance, individual identity with others in the world. We are starting to take responsibility for our actions and how they affect others. The grand water trine. Every action is a vibration that is forever present. So remember, you do and say, it's like leaving little tendrils of who you are forever in the universe. Requires us to think before acting on our impulses. When mastered, harmony in relationships begins to take place. Without that, we're compromising our individuality. It's very easy at this time to be caught up in what your neighbor is doing, whether your neighbor approves of your opinion or not, and to be fearful to stand on your own 2 feet. But in fact, this energy is asking you to do just. So this eclipse is very heavy energy. Be mindful. Watch your Mars because it is in a state where it's a little underwater, so it's hard to assert yourself. And it's the opposite of fire. It's water. So think about that polarity, that yin and that yang, where you might want to assert yourself, but you might kind of fall flat. And you can see right here where it's just opposite Pluto now. It's not within orb, but it's still, Pluto has such deep shadow influences. And this is influence within the family. And Mars in Cancer is the family, where something foreign has influenced us, something of a misguided faith is driving decisions, creating loss for us in our health. A decision that was previously made, needing review because it's creating undoing, not just for us, but the actual body made that decision as well. And with that, please consider joining my channel. Like, share, and subscribe. If you would like to contact me personally, do so through my email. You can find my information in the description. Thank you so much for joining me here today.